glad to be back. Way forward, really, because you can't go back. You only can go forward. So glad to be forward with everybody. And I'm gonna see, can I speak up a little bit louder? Because I found out that it's not going out that loud, so I speak like I got an audience in here.
There you go.
Yeah, we was at Recreation and we were finishing that up. One of the things that you got to realize, if you would Google Recreation, I said Juneteenth, we had Juneteenth, that we would Google Juneteenth, we would find out the color, Juneteenth official color is red, white, and blue.
Red, white, and blue?
Yeah, that's the official. Well, that's the color. The flag is also American flag, if that's what you're trying to figure out the design. But the color scheme is still red, white, and blue. And that's the extension of slavery. It's not nothing to do with liberation.
So the black flag is what? Green,
red, black, and green.
Okay.
The RBG. That's the flag that Marcus Garvey created. Well, you know, when we represent ourselves, when it comes to our freedom, we have to represent ourselves by representing our family. We got one problem, and that problem is family. Our family have been destroyed for over the last 400 years. And if we don't rebuild our family, then ain't nothing we can do as an individual. It's nothing but to go through the suffering that we're going through as an individual. So we had to rebuild our family. Then we had to build ourselves a community. One of the things that Wanda had asked me when she asked me about Donald Trump, about they say that we only destroying our community. We do not own a community. So it's impossible to destroy that what you don't own. We live in neighborhood. And some of us don't even live in neighborhood, we just live in hood.
Ooh.
You see, as you look at the definition of community, the community owns the business which is in that community. The community have police protection. Community have public service. Community have proper education system. Community have hospitals. Community have banks that they can go to and take loans out. So if we live in places that we don't have that type of environment, then we cannot call it a community. We cannot call.
We do have businesses and property, maybe not the land, but the actual buildings that are owned that were destroyed. But now when I look at community, I don't own my street in front of my home, but I want it to reflect me, so I'm not going to allow any trash to be laid out there. And that's part of my community, even though I don't.
No, well, that's not really part of your community. That's part of your responsibility as a slave, is to take care of other people's property and make sure it look good. That's what that's a part of. No, well, you want to define it like that, but if you define community, community is based on wealth and the control of that environment that you're going to call community. That means controlling the education system, controlling the water system. How you going to call it, like Flint, Michigan, how you going to call that a community when somebody that don't even live in it decided to dump polluted water in it?
Oh. So how did you get to that point to having it as a community? Doesn't it have to start somewhere?
Yeah, it had to start with us as individuals first. One of the main things that we had to realize, and it's hard for us to realize, we have been brainwashed for over 400 years. And the majority of the stuff that we think we know that is good for us is detrimental to us.
Like the globe is shown upside down.
Yeah.
they say that North America is on one side and they got everything reversed.
Everything reversed, yeah. We call north up and we call south down. But as you go to ancient time, when you speak Kemet, you got Lower Kemet and you got Upper Kemet. Upper Kemet is to the south and Lower Kemet is to the north. The Nile River runs from south to north. And that's where we got our direction from.
So, Justine, if there is a message that you want to leave our audience with today, if there's a concept that they need to understand from all that's been said today, what is the message that they need to hear from you?
Well, the message is simple because the message is complicated, but it's simple. First off, we have a Trinity safety net that we use to protect us when times get hard. And the safety net that we use don't have no bottom in it. And everything that falls through it. So we need to replace that safety net, the Trinity of that safety net, with a Trinity safety net that got a bottom in it and that we can move forward. And that is, our safety net that we use now is hope, prayer, and faith. And we need to replace that with a safety net of knowledge, planning, and action.
Ooh, knowledge.
Why do you have to replace it? Why?
Because it's useless. Hope is for the destitute. If I ain't got no food, then I got the hope for food. Now, how do that feed me?
I need to hear that again because I didn't catch that. So you said we need to replace what and add what?
We need to,
Jean, introduce yourself, Jean.
Huh?
Introduce yourself.
Oh, my name is Apostle Lockett. Apostle Jamie Lockett.
bless it.
Blessing.
Yeah.
So I needed to hear that again. You said replace what and add what?
We need to replace the Trinity.
Let me put my speaker thing on because I just can't hear well. Y'all give me 1 second. I'll have it on and then I can change it over to here because I can hear better. I can't hear it very well right now.
Margot, what you got to say? Okay, Jean, you ready?
Yeah, I think I am. I wish I would have did this when I came in because I got one for downstairs and one for upstairs and I need to rename these things. Okay, hold on.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
keep talking about something else. Answer that again, but hold on. I mean, keep talking. I'll tell you when I'm ready.
Jasil,
Okay.
so it sounds to me like you are saying that the concept people use today to provide some kind of support spiritually is they use hope,
Prayer
prayer,
and faith.
and faith. And you're saying that we need to adjust that,
Yeah.
and why?
We need to adjust it because the hope is for the destitute.
Okay,
Prayer is for the beggar.
the beggar.
The
Okay.
beggar.
Okay.
And faith is for the do nothing.
So it's how the three
Safety
concepts,
net.
the three concepts,
Safety net.
safety net,
Yeah.
okay, that you just described.
Should be replaced with knowledge,
Okay,
planning,
okay,
and action. Knowledge is for the wise one. Planning is for the future. And action is for the problem solver.
What say you, Margot, about that statement?
I love it. I don't think nothing should be replaced. I think that we should incorporate it all, which means that those that are, the one that you said, the word hope is for the destitute. And hope for most people, or for myself, is an opportunity. The hope, if just an inch of a light is in the word hope, it then removes me from destitute to knowledge, and then it moves me to from knowledge, which is wise, because in order for you to become wise, you're going through some channels, and you mature into all of these various things. So I'm thanking Almighty God that this day, this moment, this lesson, which is already written in the steps, is just how we plan these steps and make these steps possible. Because a wise man comes into the room and then he adds to a foundation that I have been standing on for years. So prayer is for the beggar.
Okay.
I think that that's an order, because I am begging. As a child of the Most High God, we can go to the Father and ask Him, so I don't really consider it begging. But if you are on the ground, and let me tell you this, a man came into the hospital emergency room where I was at, and he had been burnt over 95% of his body. The hope that kept him was that he knew in his heart, and all he needed somebody else to do was say a word that would ignite the hope that was there. So the prayer came to reassure him, although we may have been taught backwards to survive or to come to this point, but when God sends, and I believe in God, I believe that when He sends a man that has the knowledge, it reassures us and reinforces us to stand just a little stronger, because if our ankles are weak because of what we know from the past, our legs can only be strong as we learn. So I can take just this alone, and I believe the people that I talk to on a day-to-day basis, like you said on the inside, you say it's the energy inside of me. People don't even know what energy is. So if we don't take what we learn and turn that energy, which we know, I never thought as prayer being begging. Never thought of that. So before this knowledge that you got, that you're given, what did you call it before you became this wise man that was taught differently? Were you a Christian, or were you, how did you begin to elevate?
Okay, well, I was raised in a Christian,
Faith?
no, I gotta get it right. Christian voodoo
Okay,
concept,
okay.
okay? And like I say, I understand what you're saying when you say what you're saying, but if we don't understand that we've been brainwashed, we're going to always say things that going to make sense to us that is devastated to our existence.
So your search
Yeah,
from this religion, voodoo
yeah,
concept
yeah.
began because there was something on the inside of you that didn't register properly.
Yeah, God didn't register.
God didn't register?
No.
Okay,
God didn't register at all.
okay, okay.
And it was two pseudoscience.
Okay.
Pseudoscience. Okay.
Yeah, it was
okay.
two pseudoscience. Because you give God all this credit for being all this here, but then for some reason He allowed things to happen that cause confusion to the sufferer, the ones that are suffering. And that's a contradiction right in there somewhere. And then once you study that there, and then once you understand. Now, I know you say prayer is like you asking for something that you receive. But the system that we are a part of, the true system of reality, you don't have to ask for nothing. Everything is present. You don't have to ask for no oxygen. You don't have to ask for no water.
It's all.
Ra, which y'all call the sun, provide everything that you need to have a life on this planet here. It protects you from all of the radiation and the pollution that would destroy you. It removes the pollution that you create that is harmful to you. You don't have to ask for nothing. You don't have to pray for nothing. You don't have to do nothing. All you got to do is breathe and get the oxygen. All you have to do is catch the water, go to the river and dip the water to get the water. All the food live on its own.
The seeds.
All the food live on its own. Every life form on this planet got the sense to live and reproduce. All these brainwashed, they got us so brainwashed, and they put us into these little combine, and then this God concept makes sense. You know, but one time a person asked me what was the origin sin. The origin sin that we went through was the domestication of plants. And later, the second one was the domestication of animals. Because once they domesticated plants and once they domesticated animals, they could stockpile the food and they could control the people by issuing food here and don't issue there and doing this here. That's how they controlled us. When we was hunting and gathering, where the plants wasn't domesticated, because don't you have to understand what domestication means. Domesticated means the plant would not grow unless you cultivate it. King George, Donald Trump, Hitler, as any of them outlawed you from cultivating this plant, then this plant won't grow because they done domesticated it.
Well, I have been in a lot of countries, and I've flown over a lot of places. There is no man there. There's not one man there. So the cultivating is the plants, the trees that are growing is from the sun, is what you say. And there is no God in your life created all of this. Okay.
And if you want a pear, go to the tree, get the pear, eat it. You want some protein from animal, you go hunt it, you kill it, you eat it.
Okay. But is that how you live today in America?
No, because I live under oppression.
Okay. But
so
once you became conscious and knowledge, with all of this knowledge, why stay under it? When there's places all over the
No, ain't no place. No. The whole world is ran by corporate America.
It is.
The whole world. The whole world.
Well, I drove down through North Dakota, and I saw land for sale. I saw animals roaming.
Yeah, but who's selling it?
Nobody's selling nothing.
Oh, I thought you said land for sale.
No, I didn't say land for sale.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I said land all over everywhere.
Yeah, but go try to live on it and don't have the proper permit.
Well, if that's the case, you said you've been knowledgeable with all of this knowledge for, you said 2 centuries? Or did you say 2?
From eternal.
From eternal.
Yeah,
Okay.
from eternal. You have it too. Everybody have it. Every animal, every life form on this planet got the sense to live.
So at this particular time in your life, and then with all of the knowledge that you have, you're very, very comfortable, and as long as you're sharing and growing, because you don't eat, we're in America, we're in Chicago, so you grow all of your food, and
No.
you still buy it from the grocery store?
Yeah, I still live under the same oppression that you live under. I haven't liberated, because see, you can't liberate yourself. The only somebody you can liberate is your people. And through your people liberation, you become liberated. See, that's one of the things, like I was talking to a well-to-do black person that had, lucky he went to college, got him a job and stuff, and we prepared his family real good. And he had 3 daughters, beautiful daughters, you know. And he was talking about how he done provide for them, and he done taught them, and they got knowledge and things, and they got knowledge and all that there, and it's great that they had the knowledge, but what he didn't understand, they were gonna meet another male or even in this world now, it may be a female. But and they was gonna be influenced about that too. Ain't no way that I can protect my child away from the community or the neighborhood that I live in or the environment that I live in. Only thing we can do is liberate the whole environment. That's why they said it take a village to raise one child. But it don't take a village to raise one child. The child will be raised by the environment that he live in. That's why mental illness is so prevalent in our community, our neighborhood. That's why. Because everybody gonna teach him. The wino, the dope fiend, the prostitute, police, all of them gonna teach them. All of them gonna teach our children. The environment gonna have it. And as you look at the music that they listen to now, that's pure white supremacy propaganda music that black people inject our children to.
So, hello, this is Deborah, and, so knowledge, planning, and action.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do we get to that point? How do we,
We at that point right now. We passing knowledge back and forth right now. Now we take that knowledge and we should plan some. And we take that plan.
okay, so the knowledge that you are sharing with us today, that's what you're, banking this on? Is that the knowledge that you're referring to?
Well, I'm referring to the supreme knowledge because the supreme knowledge is way more knowledge than I got. I have a little program that when I talk to ordinary people, I make a circle like this.
Okay.
And I say within this circle is all the knowledge that I have and I think I got.
Okay.
But I understand that there's more knowledge than that which is in my circle.
Right.
And I had to have an open mind to that knowledge in order for it can get in my circle.
Okay.
So who's doing the planning?
We had to do the planning.
When are we gonna do that?
We should be doing it now. Like I remember, everything should start with your family. The first organization that you should belong to is your family. If you don't belong to your family organization, you can't work in no other organization and be prosperous.
Where do we get the knowledge from to go to the planning stage?
You seek it, and it'll come to you. You seek it, and it will come to you. And we all think that.
That goes back to faith, prayer, and hope.
No, it don't. That goes back to meditation, fasting, and understanding your environment and studying your environment, studying your natural environment, understand your natural environment, understand how the plant live its life.
So you said it was meditation?
Yeah.
So it's not hope, it's not prayer, it's not faith.
No.
It's meditation. What else is it?
I said fasting.
Oh, fasting.
Yeah.
Meditation and fasting.
Yeah. Learn how to get knowledge that way, and then you'll be able to teach yourself.
How does that give me knowledge?
Huh?
How does meditation and fasting give me knowledge?
That's the natural way of learning knowledge. Even that you got the concept of a created world, you come up with say, man didn't know nothing in the beginning. So if man didn't know the world was round, the man didn't know the stars moved around, the earth moved around the stars, if the man didn't know none of those things, how did he get it? He got it through meditation. He got it through observing.
Okay, that makes sense. We learned
You see?
meditation.
You see, so we've been brainwashed to the point that we think that somebody else got to teach us something in order for us to have knowledge. And if them people gonna teach us the wrong thing, then we're gonna be brainwashed.
Well, that's what they've been doing all along.
All along,
It's just
yeah.
the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe believe I've ever been brainwashed. I believe that as long as I have breath in my body, I'm going forever. As long as I have vision and I can hear, I believe even some of the people that don't have vision, people who don't have the ability to hear, they're constantly in meditation. So they're going to constantly evolve. Just as many of the things that you have already said, that we're evolving daily from around our families or from around whatever. The blind man has said that I cannot see, but I can hear. I can hear a gnat flying. You know, that's the power within himself and a gift that came from him just trying to figure this world out. But for those who are on the ground, those who are looking and searching for a way up, as the people in the NA or the AA programs, and I mention this, those people are people that are thirsting for knowledge. If they have been brainwashed that alcohol and drugs is their waymate, that's the only way that they can survive all of the things that they have, as you call it, being brainwashed, that if it's hurting too bad, sedate it. They have a saying that says, whatever your higher power may be, if it is a branch, if it is a piece of paper on the wall, whatever that is, until you come to yourself, until your healing process or your knowledge starts to kick in, you got to have something to cling on to. So I think everybody is scrambling. If a family is totally dysfunctional, how do you cling on to that family and try to interject something that they believe so wholeheartedly, as you call it, being brainwashed? How do they go from there?
Well, see, first thing, I think I said it in the open. First thing we have to understand, when we do it a lot, but you can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't say what you do. I can't say nothing about what you do. I can't say you meditate. I can't say you don't meditate neither, but I can't say that. Now, I can see that what you present to me, and I can speak on that, but that's the furthest I can go with. Now, one thing you have to understand, if you look up the word belief comes from absence of facts. So I never would even debate with anybody about what they believe or what I believe, you know, and that there. What I'm saying is, let's take the watermelon seed. Let's go to it. Watermelon seed, now they tell you that man is the only intelligent life form on the planet, right? Right, they tell you this, right? But the watermelon seed, without building a institution for higher learning, without building schools, without building any of the infrastructure that we call learning with, right? The watermelon seed learn everything it need to know. The watermelon seed know that you have a digestive system. He not only knows that you got a digestive system, but he know what type of acid is in your digestive system. Now, how do I say that? Because the watermelon got sense enough to coat his seed that depend on the next generation of his survival with a fern that is stronger than